This weekend, the Trackmania Grand League's World Cup group stage will take place. 16 players are battling for 8 spots in the playoffs, and then it's going to be 4 spots in a potential grand final. One of the world champions in this tournament is Pack. He's also looking to be one of the biggest favorites, at least looking at Twitter. But Pack, the most important question of all, how are you doing at the moment? How is UK doing at the moment?
Well, I'm doing all right. The UK is doing okay, I guess. I mean, slight extension on freedom, but otherwise, yeah, everything seems to be going well. I'm a little bit busy as well, but hey, we got a World Cup this weekend to try and get through.
Yeah, how does it feel to have the return of the World Championship? Is since 2018 there haven't been a World Cup. You have Trackmania Grand League, of course, but the World Cup seems to be something special in the history of Trackmania.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have it back. I mean, finally, it's like the main tournament. It's back. A slightly different time to usual.
Mm.
I usually like it being in October, November, but I mean, a June, July World Cup is something that's nice to have, and we shouldn't take it for granted, that's for sure.
Mm. Yeah, how does it feel for a player like yourself? Does it feel anything different than, let's say, what you felt before the last season of Trackmania Grand League, or is it just another big event?
I wouldn't call it just another big event. It is the biggest one in terms of skill and in terms of like what you can win. In my opinion, to be a world champion is the best thing. But it's such a weird time for it, in my opinion. Just because we've had the Grand League and now suddenly 2 months on the same tracks,
Mm.
literally, and two new ones. It's this big event, and sort of it seemed to die down a little too much. I guess it needed to be like either a month earlier when the quali was, I reckon. I think that would be the best time for it. But you live and learn, I guess,
Mm.
and maybe time it will be slightly earlier or, at a different time completely. So we'll have to wait and see. But I guess, yeah, it's like too much of delay between the seasons, unfortunately for me, I would say.
Mm. Yeah, how does it? What does it do with your motivation that it's gonna be reused maps? I mean, we have 2 new maps if I remember correctly, but what does that do with your motivation as a player?
I think it doesn't really change mine. I mean, I delayed my training till late on to make sure that I didn't lose the motivation to when I restarted to like, pick it all back up. But just with life and like my not my goals changing, but like the different things going on with life taking over of Trackmania, and then suddenly this World Cup's, oh, I actually have to practice again
Mm.
for this. And the fact that it is the same tracks helps me out. I know the tracks. It doesn't take me long to relearn them. The new tracks are quite nice though. I have learned them and I feel pretty decent on them. But having old tracks that, because the game has updated and now they feel, even the even the most small change means it's sort of changed the entire track,
Mm.
and they just feel completely weird. If they were exactly the same replicas of the actual thing and there were no updates to the game, maybe I'd feel a little bit more better on them. But I mean, yeah, the game changes.
But last season, at least in the group stage, you were the best player there. You were the only real contender for the win against CarlJr, at least in my eyes. But how would you see your own chances at this World Cup? Is it as likely as winning the season of Trackmania Grand League, or is less time now making it more difficult for you to challenge CarlJr and the others? Or
I think less time has a factor. In terms of my ability, I think the fact that I focus on certain things with my training helps me out.
hmm.
I have no warm-up matches for this tournament. I have no idea if I'm going to be consistent. The guys in the qualifier have already had matches. They've already like practiced these tracks for this specific, finals. So I don't know. I feel like some people have more of an advantage per se, but I feel like I've got a good chance to make it through the group stage. That's the main focus this weekend, and then put ideally or hopefully if I get through is the main thing is focus on next week and getting my level up a little bit higher or see where I'm at in terms of the level and if I need to improve and just put some more time down to the actual final. But I mean, I think there's going to be a few. struggles, a few upsets maybe. But yeah, I'm just hoping to pull out the bag and sort of just have a good performance this weekend. That's the main thing.
Yeah, because many people see you as the strongest contender to CarlJr, who people see as the biggest favorite. But how hard is it for a guy who is viewed as a big favorite to make it into that top 8 cut? Is it difficult for you? Do you just need a normal day? Do you need a good day? How hard is it for you to reach the July 4th playoffs?
No idea. Everyone looks so many people look really good at the moment. Like the times that people have done. You got Soldier putting out some crazy fast times on some of the tracks, and you're like, how has that even happened? Um, Kappa, Mudder, Scrappy, Massa, the four names that I see on almost every single track that are in front of me. I mean, they look really strong. They've put in the time, obviously,
Mm.
to get these times going. So it'll just be, I think it'll be interesting to see how they play with the pressure and how they play, yeah, this weekend in the matches and if they can be consistent as well as their fast times that they can do. So that'll be the most interesting thing for me. I'm just hoping that I can, I don't know, do my usual and just be consistent, be fast where I need to be, and hoping for the best. I need to set some fast times as well on some of the tracks. That's for sure. I'm a little bit slacking on a few, so that's the goal before this weekend is step up a little bit on the times. Yeah.
Mm. The format for this has changed for the usual playoffs in the Trackmania Grand League, where you essentially has 8 players and 6 players and 4 players and 2 players. Now it's going to be 4 players in every match. The normal cup mode, you're used to it. You have become a world champion in it. Is it a format that suits you better than what you had in the last season of Trackmania Grand League's playoff, or what do you reckon your chances are because of the change of format?
Oh, it's much better, much better. That playoff format was so strange because I'd play because I love a strong start.
Hmm.
And so in the playoffs of the TMGL, obviously, if you have a strong start, you're out very early and you're waiting. You're not actually playing the game much. So when it comes to the later rounds, the people that have played more get fitted into it a little bit better.
Hmm.
And so I started slacking off. Whereas this, if I get a good start, I'm not suddenly out of the picture. I'm not playing anymore. I'm in the rounds. I have to keep it going. So I feel like in that case it helps. Obviously, to get a strong start, you need to have the times to be able to do it. So that's what I'm hoping I can do. Yeah, and just I'm just hoping that I can set the round the fastest times when I need to, I guess, against the others. And just, clutch it at the end and win the finalists and just do it like that. So I think finalist suits me pretty well.
Hmm.
I'm hoping.
There is no like real argument against you being one of the best players of all time in Trackmania. You have won a lot of big tournaments, world champion, for example, 3 time Games Assembly. But what would a win here mean to you? Would it rank as the biggest event? Would it rank below, let's say, a win at the 2016 World Championship? Where would you place an online event and a return of a World Championship like this?
I think for me it'd be my biggest win.
Hmm.
But yeah, easily. The World Cup win that I had was a fishy one. It was a weird one. I mean, 60 hertz final, which doesn't suit two of the players, doesn't really help. And it was a sort of a scuffed final. So I'm hoping I'd love to win another one. I've got one to my name. To have two to be the second person ever
Hmm.
would be big for me. And I think, yeah, a lot of people will say they would love to win another one, that's for sure.
But who do you see as the biggest favorites to win this one? Who is potential? Who do you see in a potential grand final? Let's say.
Grand final. Oh, I mean, if I didn't count myself, I would see there's like I'd say five people that could make it. So yeah, it's looking at the times. I mean, there's a few people looking at consistency. We don't know. I'd probably see Carl and Kappa in there. That's
Hmm.
for sure.
Hmm. So those are the two ones you see as
I'd say
set. Yeah.
definitely, yeah, yeah, them two.
And the final question is then gonna be who is gonna be the new world champion or returning world champion or what you say reclaimed world champion of Trackmania.
Who's gonna be the well, you could go easy, say Carl, you could go I wouldn't say myself. I'd love to win it. And then you could say Kappa retains it. So I think it's one of them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. Hopefully, you will find time and motivation to do it because I put you as one of the people to win it. And now that I see Gwen is pulling out, I basically have two cards left in my deck, and that's you and CarlJr. I need to defend so people at least see that I have somewhat of a feeling about it. So I put a lot of pressure on you. So try to
Oh, thanks, man.
prioritize this tournament. Try to make it into the playoffs. And once you reach the playoffs, we know what you're capable of, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'll do my best for you.
That's it. So good luck this weekend and hopefully the next weekend as well.
Thanks, man.
Bye bye.